So a little bit about my experiences. I remember my first international trip. I just felt this overwhelming, and even like my second international trip. And both of these were before I'd ever lived on my own or really like gone into the world. I just remember feeling like so far away from like home. Like I would literally imagine like how far away I was, and just like, oh my God, like the time zone felt crazy and everything just felt so new and like almost overwhelming and really cool, but just like so new. And this time with both places, I didn't really feel like that at all. Like I kind of kept expecting to feel more like, oh my God, I'm in a new place. And I just was like, yeah, I'm looking at stuff, it's cool. But I think that was just a result of having more life experience now. I don't know if I would go back to London just like to go. It was a little boring, honestly, like no offense. Everyone was very to themselves, which was nice in some ways, but also it didn't feel exciting. Like when I'm in New York or I'm in Paris, walking, like it feels so exciting. There's just people everywhere. They're like yelling. It just feels like a real like place. London was weird because it felt very American in some ways, but then it also felt European in some ways, but not enough to be like, oh my God, I'm in Europe. And obviously the UK is not part of Europe anymore, but it just was this weird, like it's neither. It's kind of like a watered down version of both. Also, like, hate to say, but there was just no hot guys in London. I literally saw 2 the entire time, and I remember them so vividly. One guy on the train and one waiter. There were so many really beautiful girls, but Paris, bitch. If you guys remember the OG Paris vlogs with Sonia, like I think I was talking about how I would see hot guys. Bare bitch. Nothing could prepare me for like how many hot guys I saw. You would see like 3 a block. It was crazy. And it's like even guys that wouldn't normally be my type, they were hot. Just because of like their swag. I don't know. Like there were so many hot waiters, I feel, and they just like, it was actually shocking. Like I was like, oh my God. And it was just such a big difference. So this was the thing too in London. I felt like, you know, waiters and, you know, I don't know, baristas and things, they weren't necessarily rude, but it's not like they went out of their way to be friendly. And I've heard this is a thing in London or like in the UK specifically, you know, they're very businesslike and efficient, and it's like, why waste time, I don't know, with all these pleasantries. And just in general, you know, like they're known to be more reserved. And it's funny because Americans especially always say that French, I mean, probably British people say this too, but they always say that French people are so rude and like judgmental and just like, ew, you stupid American. Every waiter, every person was so nice, above and beyond friendly. It was just a lot more relaxed, chill vibe. I'm sure if you're listening to this, you're not like this, but I wonder how much of it is like, I'm like a chic girl, like bougie Billy's like chic, like we're not like these typical American tourists like coming in here like, do y'all have McDonald's? I don't know. Because there is that, you know, stereotype of like an American, and yeah, I'm very American in some ways, but I'm not gonna bring that like filth into your like French establishment, you know, like no offense. So maybe that had something to do with it, like we were just like kind of like chic, but my resting heart rate was so low in Paris, so it was obviously very comfortable. Definitely more guys. The guys are a little more aggressive in Paris, like on the street and stuff, but I didn't really experience it that much because it was winter, so I was like so fully clothed at all times, and I was pretty much always with bougie Billy, so I'm sure my experience would have been a little worse, you know, had it been a warmer month and if I was by myself or with another woman, because I do remember that from being with Sonia, like just the guys being very aggressive, like in the street with catcalling, whistling, and one guy even chased me down. It was really scary. I don't know if you guys remember that story time, but in London, like I literally got 0 street harassment. A guy wouldn't even look at me. Except for like the one cute guy on the train. Like we were like beaming, but I was like, I'm not gonna talk to you, I'm shy. But something I will say, I never want to do Airbnb again. I did a hotel for the first part, and then we did an Airbnb in Paris. Hotels are so much better, y'all. When Airbnb started out, it was like a cheaper option. You know, you had these people that were so into being a host, and they would give you like a little like booklet on like amenities and things to do in the area. And now there are so many Airbnbs, like it literally statistically, like there's an overflow of Airbnbs, especially from the pandemic and just when housing went down, a lot of people bought places like to rent them out or to turn them into Airbnbs. It's like I'm usually paying more than I would for a hotel, and I have to do all these chores and pay a cleaning fee. So hotel life for me, please. Like I want to be a guest, you know, I want to like be provided towels and, you know, have a clean spot. I hate when Airbnbs always feel so dirty to me. And then it's like, why am I even paying this cleaning fee if I have to clean and then like it's already kind of dirty when I get there, you know? Like you can tell they don't deep clean it ever. But the hotel, it's like calm, chill. There's someone to like help you with your bags. You're like a guest, you know? You're like treated with respect. So anyway, let me know if you relate. But yeah, it's just that vibe so often too of like people just wanting to make money instead of like people wanting to be a host and doing this like because they actually enjoy being a host. You know, it's like, oh, well, I might as well do this and make extra money. And that's just like the world that we live in. But I'm sick of it. If I'm going to spend my money, it's going to be on a hotel. So anyway, let me know if you have any specific questions about my trip or solo traveling or whatever. And let me know where I should go next. Something I did actually want to mention as well is that at no point did I feel jet lagged. The first day I was obviously tired from traveling, but it was not like a jet lag feeling. And my whole trip, I was never at any point exhausted or beyond tired. And I really chalked that up to not really drinking.